Hello, what's up, people? How y'all doing? What's going on? Hope this can sit over here. What's happening, people? What is happening? What's the goings on? What is going on?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
All right. Let me get this phone number up here, guys. Because I'm trying to tell you, look, if there's going to be a show tonight, it's going to be because of you guys. I'm trying to tell you right now that this is all on you guys, right? So what's going on, Tim Black's Wolfpack? How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling out there? Hope some people in the house. Guys, I'm gonna jump right into phone calls. Now, guys, check this out. Now, so coming to air, I saw it's Dollar. Give me some love. Continue. All right, I'm gonna try.
Start your show now, press 1. To hear important instructions, press 2. To speak to customer service, press 3.
All right, let's try this.
Since it appears you're calling back into a live show, we are reconnecting you now.
All right, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Oh, hey, Tim. Can you hear me?
Yes,
How
we
you
can
doing,
hear
buddy?
you.
All right, that's good to know, and thank God it's gone through. But the one thing I want to talk interesting, not just about that that Guardian smear against Julian Assange. There's something about, let's say, that involves WikiLeaks related, like the ones named Corsi, Jerome Corsi, of course, and Roger Stone and everything. The thing is with Mueller, they're trying to do anything to pressure him in perjury trap, and also try and go after Stone, of course, whichever they can. And not only they would try and do that, the thing with Jerome Corsi, of course, he's doing everything in his power to like fight back against him, and he was negotiating a plea deal, but apparently withdrew it. So I don't know how this is going to go with this guy, especially how he's going to like handle with Mueller, even though the guy is a dirty rat to the core. The one thing about the that Guardian smear by that knucklehead wackadoodle known as Luke Harding, of course, that dude, he's a crazed fool. Unlike the journalists from Washington Post, it's like more likely Guardian and Washington Post, they're like exactly same thing with their exaggerational craziness and everything. But I will tell you this, I watched like a clip from Jimmy Dore's show, which showed Aaron Matei from The Real News. That dude, he's very smart, and I love The Real News, how they cover real, actual news, unlike the corporate news. Like, he was like grilling him about this whole collusion thing that was made by the book that he made, that was made by none other than Luke Harding. And of course, he got destroyed in Aaron Matei's show when he was grilling him about it, of course. And you know the thing with Julian Assange, I don't know how this is going to be with him in the Ecuadorian embassy. And you know, shame on that current president who is not going to do anything, but now look what they did. Shame on him. And not only like shame on him, shame on the U.S. government for, you know, the wars. And apparently with Assange, he makes friends and now makes enemies. I mean, Democrats used to like him against the Republicans and their war crimes, and now they don't because they're Clinton lovers that just go against it for releasing Hillary's emails and everything. And, you know, to wrap things up, the Senate Intelligence Committee, I looked in the article somewhere, invited that Julian Assange to come and testify of what happened in the 2016 election and everything, and also, yeah, that sort of thing. I do thank you for your time, Tim.
All right, no problem. Thank you for the phone call. Glad it's working. Glad this phone line's working now. All right. Another call that was in the queue earlier is 907. 907, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
It's the old lady from Alaska, Tim.
All right.
Congratulations on the grandbaby. She's beautiful. I hope your daughter's doing well. Hope your colt's feeling better. I just wanted to call and let all the people who kind of listen to my bullshit every now and again know that we had a major earthquake here. And it destroyed a lot of Alaska. And the only thing the goddamn president was worried about was our oil pipeline. And I just wanted everybody to know that we're all right. We're going to recover. We're going to do what we can. But we're alive and well. And by the way, Washington Post, we all know is owned by Jeff Bezos, and the you know how CIA they paid him something like $600 million to print, to be the outlet for their voice. Well, the Guardian is MI6's voice. This is all a bunch of. This is just retribution. This is in the 10 years Julian Assange and WikiLeaks has had their stuff going. They've never once got it wrong. And if they're going to prosecute Julian Assange, they might as well prosecute the New York Times, every MSM who utilized that information, all the information he ever leaked about Chelsea Manning when he was Bradley Manning. And he doesn't just do this in the United States. He reports on all the world. We're just so goddamn arrogant. We think we're so special that he's the only one he points at. He is a truth teller. He's a real honest, hey, this is the way it really is. We would never have known about what happened to Bernie Sanders if it wasn't for him. So he's got governments all over his ass because he tells the truth. And we're doing everything. I mean, remember when Clinton said, hey, let's just assassinate him? And before Pompeo even became head of the CIA, he also said it on TV. Now, we're a rogue nation to the rest of the world. We're the only ones making shit happen really bad and having refugees all over the world. So, chickens are going to come home to roost, but they need him quiet. They need him to shut up. And they cut off all his communications so they can make up their own crappy story through this dude who wrote the book Collusion and all that crap. Everybody sees it for what it is. But he also knew what he was doing when he got into what he was doing. It's not that I don't feel bad for the man. I think it's just sad for the world that this is what we do to our truth tellers. And it puts a chilling effect on the world's reporters. And when our president can come right out and say, hey, it's okay to chop up a dude, as long as we can still sell arms to these people that we are helping destroy Yemen, and as of now, 85,000 children starved to death, and the largest cholera outbreak. Well, that's called a war of attrition, and that's actually a massive war crime. And when Germany did it, we hung people for it when it was all said and done. So we better break away from them Saudi Arabians. We've had a relationship with them for way too long. And we damn well better walk away from Israel, because when Benjamin Netanyahu can walk his ass right into our Congress without the permission of our president and tell us what to do and run AIPAC, and Chuck Schumer, as I said before, anybody can go to YouTube, type in Chuck Schumer AIPAC speech, listen to who his alliance is to. He flat out says it. And who was in attendance was the vice president and was both Democrats and Republicans. This is all about the world's oligarchs and the world's people that they got their foot on everybody's neck. So we either walk away from this or people are going to get tired of our stuff. And so the only way we're going to save ourselves from world war is everybody get out on the street and say, no more. I remember the days when we went against the Vietnam War and we protested and we were loud and we went against Nixon so badly that he and Kissinger were in the same damn room when they put school buses in front of the White House to blockade it off. And said, if they get through, they're going to hang us. And that's when things started to change, is when people got in the streets. And yeah, people got hurt. But there's people all over the world dying because of us, and it's about time we stand up for them and start treating our fellow human beings as a fellow human beings. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. I talk too long all the time anyways, but when Alaska, we're going to make it, you guys. And the first thing the president said, he was worried about our damn oil pipeline, not the schools and everything that's on fire in our airports and tsunamis and all the rest of that. So he showed his true colors. As long as that oil pipeline's all right, everything's gonna be cool. He'll send us money. Anyway, everybody's safe. We had no deaths. A lot of destruction though, and we'll rebuild. But right now we got thousands of people without heat, electricity, and it's pretty damn cold up here in Alaska. So we all know what to do. Ones with heat, and we're going to take in the people we can take in. We're going to take care of our own. But if we can do that for ourselves, I think we better start standing up for our own country and get out in the streets. If they can put pussy hats on him for a day and go down there for about whatever, the first day is inaugurated, then how about we get our asses out in the streets, stay in the streets until they stop this stuff? Because, other people in other countries don't deserve what we're doing. And we're the government. They're our employees. And it's about time we tell our employees, you're done. That's our money. You ain't spending it this way. And you ain't murdering babies over there anywhere. We're done. Bring them all home. So let's be grateful for our lives and be grateful that we have an opportunity to make a chance to make a difference.
All right, Laura, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it.
Love you guys. Good night, everybody. God bless.
All right, now. Thank you. Thank you so much. 904, 907, 301, 813. 301, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
My name is Marcus, and I just wanted to talk about this fire outbreak that's been happening in California for a minute now. In addition to some other shit, but mainly the fire. It's like, what else has to go down before people in office, particularly on the right, can stop downplaying the effect that climate change is having on our world? Like, what is the toll going to be? How much do we have to lose before they say, okay, there's some things more important than how fat our pockets get? Because if the world is extinct, all the money is going to be worth shit because it's going to go away too. So it's just like, I'm not getting the lack of logic in it at all. You know what I'm saying? And then just overall, I've just been further disheartened with government since the midterm election. Like I said, I'm from Maryland, and we, especially in PG County, there were a lot of people that did not get to vote. There were hundreds of people waiting in different areas of PG County for ballots, hundreds. And it's hard to make people want to be involved in the process when there are so many ways that it's being shown that, the people that want your support don't actually give a shit about you outside of that. I'm not going to ramble on for too long because I'm sure there are other callers with more to say, but I just think that I just don't get it. Like, it's suicidal in my mind to deny that not only the country but the world needs some changes made to it just for the sake of keeping your pockets fat, when in reality, if things like climate control don't get addressed, you and your pockets are going to be out of here along with everybody else. Same thing with the gun situation. People are going to keep trying to use this assault on their Second Amendment right as a red herring until someone they know, love, and care about runs into a psychopath with an assault rifle. I don't get it. It's just illogical. But that's all I wanted to say. That's how I feel. I'll head off now. Congratulations on the grandchild. Hope everybody has a good night and a good weekend.
All right, man. Hey, thank you for the phone call, Marcus. I appreciate it. Give it up for Marcus. Wow. Thank you guys for calling in so quickly, man. I appreciate you. I'm glad. I was like, you know what? I just want to open up phone lines and give people an opportunity to say whatever's on their mind. So I appreciate all of you guys, Marcus and Laura, and my first caller too calls in often, calling in and voicing your opinions. 301, we got that. 813, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment? you're live.
Oh, sorry, I muted it with my face. So I'm here now.
No problem.
Okay, so my name is Jeremy. I wanted to talk about some news that came out on Monday, November 26th. I'm not sure if you're aware, but the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Inquiry, it's a nonprofit group, and they received a letter back from the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York. They were petitioning them to show evidence of unprosecuted crimes from 9/11. To show those unprosecuted crimes, show the evidence to a special grand jury, and the Southern District of New York is going to comply with them. So the Lawyers Committee for 9/11 Truth will get to show evidence that the three towers in New York City, World Trade Center 1, 2, and 7, were brought down by controlled demolition. So imagine if it turns out that the jury rules that all three of those towers were brought down by controlled demolitions. Do you think the media would even report it? How significant would that be? Yeah, so I just wanted to keep you posted on that. I'll get off and let me know your thoughts.
Wow, Jeremy. All right. Thank you for the phone call, Jeremy. Goodness gracious, brother. Wow. Yeah, that'd be big. That'd be a big deal, brother. God, that'd be the biggest news of. I can't think of a story that would be bigger than that. If that was actually said in a court of law. How could they not? Well, hell, that's crazy. I can't ask that question. Like, how can they not report on it? There's so many things they don't report on now. But I think with the advent and the unleashing of the internet, they haven't been able to stop it just yet. I know they're trying with the censorship on the internet. I think independent media would get the word out. Yeah. So, look, guys, 319-527-6212. I had a phone call at 516. I'm coming your way, 516. You're live. What's your name and what's your comment?
Are you speaking to me?
That's you. How you doing?
Oh, this is funny. I just thought I'd call in. I saw the thing on Twitter, so I thought I'd call in and say hello.
Well, hello. How you doing? What's some news story? What's on your mind tonight? Anything going on in the world that you'd like to talk about?
Well, I would want to talk about the thing that bothers me, that I noticed that no progressive seems to talk about. I don't know if you've ever seen my comments on Twitter. I'm the Jamaican woman, Canadian, who probably click on like some of your comments sometimes.
Well, thank you.
The thing that bothers me I notice that people aren't talking about is the experimentation, the human experimentation that's going on, and it's sinister and it's dangerous. And I notice no one is talking about it. It's the targeted individuals thing. It's almost as if people think it's a hoax, or I know the CIA puts out a lot of fake people talking about UFO and Marchland and all that bullshit to hide the fact that they're human testing on people, reading brainwaves and that sort of thing. It's a real thing, and I notice no one talks about it in the progressive groups. Hello?
But yes, I'm listening.
Do you believe it, or do you think it's a hoax, or, you know?
Oh.
I just wonder, because that's more sinister than anything that they've ever done.
Yeah, you know.
More sinister. You don't want somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry?
Yeah. I'm not really privy to it. I'm not really, I'm not really informed on that subject.
You're not really familiar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think you should look into it a little bit. It's not great. They put out a lot of okay. Let me see if I can put it in a way that you can understand it. It's a thing where, you see that guy who said this is my ELF, my extremely low wave frequency device, and he went and he shot up. I think he was a military guy, and he went up and he shot up that military place.
I think I may recall that. Yes,
that was something.
Mm-hmm.
That was something real. What happens is that people break into your apartment, break into your house, load up your food and no matter where you go, they'll pay people, they'll pay your neighbors, they'll pay your friends, they'll pay your boss, they'll pay your coworkers, whomever, and you have no idea who these people are because somehow they've signed them to non-disclosure agreements or whatever, and they will stalk you with cell phones and their cell phone apps and radio towers and they will stalk you, and the chemicals, the radioactive chemicals would somehow they'd be able to read that. Somehow they'd be able to do something with it. It's like they're human testing, and they'll hit you with low wave frequencies that only you can see and feel, and no one else around you, and they can read your brainwave. It's crazy, but it's real. And I'm surprised that no one in the progressive movement have paid attention to it at all. It's almost as if, the most dangerous thing in the world is going on and no one pays it. What they've done is they've put out a lot of feelers about UFOs, and anyone who is going through this, they'll make it seem like people who go through this are crazy.
Yeah.
So
it does sound crazy. It does sound crazy.
It sounds crazy, but it's human experimentation. Jesse Ventura might speak about it. You might hear even Alex Jones, and people say, "Oh, Alex Jones is a crazy and whatnot." But you know what? He's and I'm black. I'm obviously a black person, so of course I wouldn't be pro Alex Jones because he's kind of racist. But he's really some things that are actually true. Sorry, I'm in the cold. I shouldn't be in the cold because I'm speaking in the cold and I'm kind of freezing while I'm talking. So let me go back inside. So he said some things that are actually true, and people don't pay attention. But I think it's time people start paying attention because the brain experimentation that Obama embarked on in 2014, that's what they're doing. They're experimenting on people.
All right, sister.
All these so-called brain new trends that they come out with. They're actually they break into your phones. It's ridiculous. They stalk you. The gangster. It's ridiculous because they have deep pockets to pay this much attention to one person.
Okay.
24/7 for this long. So I'm just asking people to pay attention.
Okay.
Because it's dangerous, and if they're doing it on a small scale, they'll scale it up. They'll scale it up.
All right, sister. Well, thank you for the phone call. We appreciate it. I appreciate you for phoning in. Hey. I tell you something that does bother me that I noticed. And this happened like a couple of days in a row, so I'm starting to look into it. And that is, when I get up in the morning, I have no phone calls. But as soon as I check my phone, I start getting the spam phone calls. I'm convinced that my phone has been hacked and that they have some way of knowing that I'm on my phone, and that's when they start sending the spam phone calls. You know, the unsolicited spam advertising calls? You know, those calls that are from all parts of the country, and you keep blocking them, and you're blocking them, and you're blocking them, and you're blocking them. Well, yeah, those calls. Those are the ones I'm talking about. So, like, I know there are things, I know that has nothing at all to do with the caller, what the caller was talking about. But that's just something that I want to complain about. I want to complain about the rent being too damn high, and I want to complain about them spam phone calls. I mean, too many of them spam phone calls, y'all. All right. Lord have mercy. Yeah. So, look, guys, we'll keep going. Thank you. 843. 843, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what is your comment?
Tim?
Yes.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello, Tim?
Hey.
So this is Lil Sis calling from South Carolina.
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You've been some awesome shows. And I just wanted to call in. I tried to call in like 2 weeks ago, and somehow it didn't come through. But anyway, I wanted to touch on what you said on one of your shows about how we're not at the same place where we were with Bernie Sanders. You know, we have gone through so much. We've been woken. We have, I think for most of us that have been paying attention, it's been very, very traumatizing and psychologically damaging even to realize and see what the media did to the voters and the fraud and Debbie Wasserman Schultz and on and on and on and on and on. So, you know, I was pretty much turned off Bernie, but now that he's coming back and they're bringing out the long knives after him, then I was talking to my husband earlier and I said, you know what, because we're not politicians. You know, we haven't been in those particular trenches. And I mean, like, I was so mad at Bernie for for having to come out and saying that Nita Turner couldn't speak and this and that. But you know what? Maybe he took the long view, and maybe he's setting down these conditions. So I don't know. You know, I got a lot of questions, and I mean, you know, Bernie is the one who woke me up. I mean, if it wasn't for Bernie Sanders, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So, you know what I mean? Because you're not a politician either. I mean, you call it like you see it. That's how we roll, right? I mean, we try to ferret out the truth and make sense of shit, and sometimes we get it right, sometimes we get it wrong. But, you know, I mean, at least I know from me, I would never have the temperament to be a politician. I just couldn't do that. So, but anyway, yeah, I think it's really interesting. And I don't know if you caught Michael Tracy's article in The Spectator about Bernie Sanders. But yeah, there's all this stuff coming out about Bernie, you know, and here we go again, you know, he can't win, he's too old, and he's this, and he's that, and too divisive, and, you know, it's like redux, you know. I'm just feeling like 2015 coming back again. So, anyway, you done some great shows this week, and I'm glad you're back strong, and, you know, congrats on the grandbaby. A wonderful, wonderful, beautiful gift. And anyway, I just want to call in and drop that out there. But again, you know, to the Wolfpack, I want to say, you know, that point to me, it's been like reverberating in my brain. We are not who we are or who we were in 2015.
Yeah.
You know? Right. And I just think that's a very, very important point you made, and something that, you know, people really need to think about. You know, how much are we going to invest? Will we reinvest? If we invest, you know, where's it going to be? How are we going to do that? You know, because we don't want to waste our emotional and human capital again to, a possible failing enterprise. So anyway, glad you're doing Freedom Friday, and I just wanted to say hello and have a great weekend.
Hey, you too, little sis. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
You got it. You got it, definitely. And I'm glad you caught that point. Yeah. It's sort of like, you ever meet somebody and things don't work out, and you hit it off when you met, and it was like amazing, right? And it was fun and interesting, or maybe mysterious and reckless, and it was all those things, right? And then for some reason, like I said, it doesn't work out. You go your way, they go their way. You can, in your mind, fantasize about, we can do that again. Like, hey, we hook back up, and, we can have those fireworks happen again. It never works out that way. It just doesn't. Because you were that person at that time, and they were that person at that time. So I do know that politics and who we admire as far as leadership, and especially in the political sense, I know that's a totally different ball of wax. But what I'm telling you is that that's the way human nature works, and that's the way that life works. And I just don't believe that we're all in the same place. And don't get me wrong, there'll be new stewards of the message. There will be those people that become enlightened or engaged for the first time, like a Prince song. And maybe it is time for them, to feel that, wow, what? And learn these things and become exposed to real media and become exposed to all that's going on with our government, and realizing how we're pitted against one another for the advancement or for the enrichment of a very small few. Or maybe we just need it told to us in a different way. Maybe we have advanced and we've matured. Maybe it's not that we're going to be disinfected or disaffected and no longer empathetic or interested, right? Maybe we'll be mature and we'll be like, okay, so we're at this level now. So as what we may have liked at one point, we're still interested, but now we're ready to get married. Or we're ready to settle down and have kids. Or we're ready to plan for the future and put some seed in the ground. Like, we're ready to do the real stuff. We don't want to go to the movies. We don't want to hang out, go for coffee. We're advanced now. So maybe that'll be what it is. I will say I appreciate you bringing up the topic. Briefly earlier today, I did catch a little bit of Dave Rubin, Shapiro, and Peterson. And I'm sitting back and I'm watching these three guys talk, and for the most part, it was just Shapiro and Peterson, and Rubin looked more like, well, what's going on? He's like this, what's happening? He was like in the middle, like, of these guys talking. He's just, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. Huh? That's interesting. He was just doing like he's watching a tennis match. And I was thinking how rare it is that you'll see people on the left have like deep conversations in that way. At least I'm not privy to those type of conversations happening on the left that often. And I was looking at all the momentum on the right. And as I watched, I looked at Dave Rubin. I said, wow, Dave Rubin has almost 900,000 subscribers. And, Shapiro's career is taking off, and Peterson is lightning in the bottle. And I was thinking, yeah, I kind of get why Anna Kasparin's pissed off at Dave Rubin. Like, but no, on real talk though, guys, I was thinking how the right seems like it has all the momentum and all of the fire. And I feel like I'm in no man's land, because I really want to stay independent and be able to look at everything from a vantage point of just trying to seek the truth. But I tell you, man, that's no man's land. That is... Someone wrote me, they said, Tim, you can't be lukewarm. You got to be either cold or hot. You can't be lukewarm, right? And I'm not lukewarm on the truth, but they want me in a camp. And anyway, long story short, guys, I'll just say that I called out David Pakman today because I feel like David Pakman is full of shit, and I think he needs to be called out. And I called him out over peddling the false story about Julian Assange and WikiLeaks and Paul Manafort, even though now it's been debunked. Both TYT and David Pakman, and I heard it's not just David Pakman, but when I was contacted, I was told David Pakman has been really leading a charge about this false information. And we have to really get engaged and really stand up to the BS. Because if we don't stand up to it, there's just going to be that exists in the air. And we can't have, we cannot abdicate our responsibility to speak truth to power. So I'm here to say, man, we're going to have to start doing a better job. If we're going to say that we are truth tellers, we got to speak up and spit truth, right? And have more conversations. And there are a lot of changes that I intend to make for the better. And if it don't work out, we keep making changes to make it better. Like, we're going to keep improving. I got some ideas, but I'm going to keep them to myself for now until I'm able to bring them to fruition. But anyway, that being said, let me go to another phone call. Thank you guys for hanging in there. 425, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name and what's your comment?
Hey, Tim, it's Bree calling from Oregon.
Hey, Bree, what's up?
Not much. I usually have a few notes. This time I kind of I'm doing it on the fly, so don't judge me. So my comment was about Julian Assange kind of in general, and I guess it's kind of related to the Guardian a little bit, but it's more about the court case or the recently, kind of disclosed charges against Julian Assange. And I was kind of talking to, I think it's Elizabeth Voss on Twitter, going back and forth with her about this. And it's been stuck in my head, and so I wanted to throw it out there for everybody else, which is, how are they bringing a case without jurisdiction is a three-legged stool in jurisprudence. You have to have all three legs or else the stool falls and you have no case. So I'm not understanding how they are claiming to have all three legs of the stool of jurisdiction to even bring a case against him. So you have in personam or personal jurisdiction. So it's like having authority over the person. Well, they don't have him in any contracts. He's not a citizen. So the U.S. government doesn't have authority over him as a person, which, by the way, is an artificial entity, but that's a whole nother matter. But as everybody else thinks of it as a person, they don't have jurisdiction over him. So the other leg of the stool is subject matter jurisdiction, and that means having authority over the issue and the elements of the case. Well, that, I think they could maybe make a case for having that. But the third one is territorial jurisdiction, which is authority over the land or water in which the event or issue has happened. And again, that would mean they have jurisdiction over the place it was published from, that WikiLeaks publishes from, or that they supposedly have jurisdiction over the internet, but the internet is not land or water, so they automatically don't have jurisdiction over that, and there's no case law yet for them making that claim. So it's really baffling to me how they could even try to bring a case when I just don't think they have jurisdiction. I don't think they have two legs of jurisdiction. And Elizabeth Voss agreed with me and said that was kind of what made it kind of scary. And it is scary because if the other countries allow such a trespass upon their jurisdiction, sovereignty of their nation states, well, then American law could be tried to be applied by the U.S. anywhere. And that means we have the ultimate jurisdiction over all, and everybody else's nation state jurisdiction and sovereignty goes away. So it's really weird, and I would like to read the case, and I just wanted to throw that out there as a legal aspect of what's confusing about that for me. And that's all I got. Thanks, Tim.
Tim Black.
Thank you.
Tim Black.
I appreciate you. That's a good point. I hadn't considered that. So what Bree brings up is a good argument, I hadn't really considered those charges and what they really mean. Maybe I'm in denial about the charges, guys, to a certain extent. That I don't think that they should, I don't think that, of course I don't think that they have grounds, but I think like a lot of others, I feel that we just don't want to accept that they would actually do that. But this is the United States, and this is what we do. So I think it is worthy of a conversation. All I can say is when the time comes, if that time does come, we will have to pitch in so he can have an adequate defense. I know that he has lawyers at his disposal, and I'm sure they'll make that argument at that time. But I do appreciate the phone call, Bree, and wow, something to think about, people. Yeah, interesting stuff. So, as you can see here from my earlier video, I still have in my queue, in my software, I still have the picture of the embassy in my background, as you can see here, and I still got that rocking, right? Thought it'd be a nice change of pace, right? Nice change of, change of pace. Woo, look what I could do. So what else, guys? Anybody else have any comments they'd like to share with the crew? I'm looking at the chat. I see no more donations is in the house. Hey, no more donations. Cacti Juice says, thanks, Mr. Black. True to that. Not sure what that comment is in reference to, but I appreciate you. Oh, what's going on with Yemen? Anybody have information about Yemen? I understand that they were putting forth legislation. I think it was Bernie Sanders. I want to say Ro Khanna. I'm not certain, though. To end intervention in Yemen. Anybody familiar with that story? That's something I'm going to dig into this weekend. Hopefully, well, not hopefully, I will dig into that story this weekend. I would like to know the nooks and crannies, the details surrounding that. Very interested in that point. Very interested in seeing that happen. Who we got here? Jilly Love says Oliver Darcy calls Twitter a platform, not a publication, so he's not responsible for what's published. I wish Assange could do the same. Two-tier justice system. All right. Give it up for that. Tom Zito says, I think, unfortunately, that anyone who has an expectation of justice in a Julian Assange trial is naive. Winger Yemen calling for help. The people that watch MSM are years behind. This is true. That's sort of to my point earlier. And you know what happens? I think there'll be some new people, some new persons will discover, independent media, and discover the truth about income inequality. They will, general public hasn't got that yet. Generally speaking, people blame themselves for being poor. Or they blame other people. That's just what happens. Generally speaking, people who are having a hard life, they blame either themselves or they blame some other minority group. Well, it's true, you should blame a minority group, but that would be the rich. That's the group you should be blaming. So there are a lot of people who have yet to discover what we discovered just a few years ago for some of us, and some of us, others of you may be watching. You discovered some of these facts about income inequality years ago, decades ago, maybe a decade ago, right? And to those people, they were looking at you and I, all those people who sort of woke up around 2015, hey, looking at us like, what the hell, where you been? Come on, where you been, Tim? And there were people like that. There were people, I remember when I didn't even know who Jill Stein was. And that was less than 4 years ago. I had no idea who she was. Now I consider her a friend. And I remember the people that encouraged me to become aware, to become educated, to become aware of what was going on. So I hope that this continues. Like, it doesn't stop. It doesn't cease to happen where other people get information. So, yeah, that's what I'm hoping. I hope that goes down. I can't see everything here. I might have to jump on my other one. I had to jump on here to see what's going on. Facebook people, you're in the house too? I got Facebook people. We got some people on Facebook. Here we got Michael's in the house. TC. I'm not familiar with this, but I believe her. Okay, TC. I hear you. Robert Murray. Oh, you guys are a tough crowd. Hey, Freedom Friday, people can call up and voice their opinions, and and that's the beauty of it, right? And so, hey, look, so that's what we do, right? That's what we do. I don't need to explain that further. You know what we do here. I know it's straight. Isn't it funny how we went through all that drama about me not being on Facebook, and now here I am back on Facebook. All that drama for nothing. All the drama for nothing. Now, what you guys have to do is you have to watch this show for a long period of time, because what has to happen on Facebook, for me to be able to do Facebook, man, you guys got to watch more than 5-10 minutes of the show. All right? It's important, guys, because I need Facebook as the platform. They are really pinging me. So I appreciate you guys for watching on Facebook. And see, that's why you shouldn't get so excited. Things change, and they change back, and they do stuff, you know? I'm the guy who was booted off of YouTube for 3 months. 3 months, man. I've been having to make so many changes. You guys have no idea. I'm trying to work my stuff out with Roku and get my content's not getting to the Roku platform quick enough, because I can't just put it up myself. So I got to talk with those people like, yo, you need to put my breaking stories up on Roku quicker, because people on Roku be like, Tim Black, this story 4 days old. I'm like, I put it out the day it happened. So we got to do a better job on Roku. I can't grow a Roku audience if Roku people are putting my Roku content up. But anyway, these my personal problems. These are my personal struggles. You guys, I know. It's like, Tim, that's your own problems. Deal your own problems. Work your own problems out, Tim Black. That's okay. My grandbaby upstairs. I'll go upstairs and feed my grandbaby and listen to some Teddy Pendergrass and some old school music, and drink some wine. First, I gotta go get some wine, because I don't have no wine in the house. Anyway, yeah. Serafina Benavides says she added, Benavides Kana, give it up for her. She said she added me on Roku, and she forgot that she added me there. She subscribed on Roku, and she forgot how marvelous that was. Well, thank you, Seraphim, for adding me on Roku. I appreciate you. Oh, man, my call queue's open. Look at the people. I got people in my call queue, man. This is a beautiful sight. These people just jumped out, just came out of nowhere. All right, I'm going to try to take calls in the order that they came in. I have a 909 number. You're live, 909. Hello?
Hello, Tim. I'm Suzette, and this is my first time listening and first time calling in.
Well, welcome to the show, Suzette. What's on your mind tonight?
I was listening to, I caught your show at the beginning there, and your callers, you have intelligent people calling, and I agree with the lady that called before me regarding Julian Assange and the jurisdiction. And we also have to remember which one of your Facebook persons had chatted, and you read it out loud, saying that Julian Assange didn't steal the emails, documents, whatever. He just published them, and he can do that. I mean, the New York Times and Washington Post and all those newspapers do that all the time, and they have anonymous sources leaking information, and they publish it. So, yeah, I think if they were going to charge him, that they would have done it already.
Absolutely. That's what I hope, Suzette. That's what I hope. Well, thank you.
That man doesn't deserve that.
No, he doesn't. He does not. Look, I'm with you on that. Is there anything else?
Nope, that's it. I just wanted to say hello and introduce myself and let you know I'll be following you and listening to your show.
Well, Suzette, I want to thank you. I appreciate you for calling up and taking that first-time caller, guys. First-time callers, man, I appreciate you. You know, I know sometimes get a little nervous. You're on the phone line, but can't nobody see you, so you good. Just call up, and if you don't get it, don't come out perfect, don't worry about it. A lot of times it don't come out perfect for me either, so don't even worry about it. Just call up and say whatever's on your mind. Thank you for the call, Suzette. 347, you're live on Freedom Friday. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hello, am I on air?
Hey, how you doing? What's on your mind?
Tim, you're so fantastic, so great. You know what this guy is? The first-time caller. You're one of the greatest guys I've ever met. Great for independent media. You're not fake news. This is Brian. How's it going on, bud?
Give it up for Brian, y'all. Give it up for Brian.
I finally had my first time getting on. I just got up at work. I was like, I need to call in. I've been following you for a long, long time, bro.
Right.
I just want to give you the major props for always, sticking to your guns and, speaking truth to power, brother. I really applaud you, man. Always. Always applauded you for that.
Hey, Brian, but look, brother, thank you, man. When I heard it was you, man, I'm like, he must be off today. He must be playing hooky because I know you got to work on Friday nights, man. But thank you so much, man, for making that clip, Brian. And you are hilarious, brother.
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure, bro. I just want to tell everybody that listens to you, man, you are a stand-up guy. Everybody be a part of this wolf pack. Let's make your channel grow. Let's make your voice louder, because you're one of the few guys that didn't go on that red wave that a lot of people we know did, and they wanted the Bernie wave, and then they went to the wave to get that easy buck. And that's why I applaud you, man. You stayed right where you were, and you said, I'm gonna call it right down the middle, brother.
My brother, look, Brian, man, you just don't know, man. I'm gonna have to move on, man, but I just want to say, Brian, man, I appreciate you saying that. I could talk about that. Give it up for Brian, guys. Give it up for that, man. I appreciate you, Brian, man, for acknowledging that. The thing about it, let me just say this. I'm gonna say this, right? The thing about what you just said, Brian, about the people that rode the Bernie wave, and then they say, then they rode the Trump wave. It's not those people so much. It's all the people that are unable to see it for what it was. That honestly is what hurts me. Like, we're not talking about just a voter or a person who just watches content. We're talking about people in the media business. They're in the media business. And you don't see that they were first with somebody else, then they saw Bernie, they said, "Ooh, Bernie." Got millions and millions and millions and millions of views. Then when Bernie left, they said, okay, hate Hillary. They did that for a long time. Then when that dried up, they said, gotta go Trump. They went Trump. And it's the people who don't see all the jumping and they don't think, hey, is that money making them do, does money make them do that? Is that for money? That couldn't be money. No, it couldn't be money that makes them do that. So that bothers me, that there are people that can't see, but they'll see Rachel Maddow and Chris Hayes and Joy Reid, or, they'll see these people do stuff for money, and they'll be like, I got money. That's for money. But when other people do it, they go, oh, no, that's because they had a change of heart. All right, I'm going to go to the next call, man. Thank you, Brian. You got me in trouble because they're going to be like, I know Tim's talking to, it's not just one person. This is not about one person. So stop saying, oh, I know it's about H.A. Goodman. There are a lot more people on the planet than H.A. Goodman. There are a lot of other people who have done this. It's not just H.A. Goodman. All right? All right. Going on to the next call, man.